Yes, welcome one, welcome all. Had a few technical challenges for a second there, but it looks like we're online now. Welcome to the Be Do Have live stream. With Dawn Osbourne and Dr. B. Sirius. We'll be with you in just a few moments, seconds. As you vibe to the music, the song is called You. A-E-I-O-U. It's about you. Tapping into yourself, finding the power, the love and the soul, the diamonds and the gold deep inside yourself. Welcome one and welcome all. Have you ever heard therapeutic music sound like this? With such a groove? See, therapeutic healing medicine music can have soul, make you dance. Doesn't have to be kind of just droning and airy-fairy and angel-like. This is the soul of therapeutic medicine music right here. Coming to you live. Yes, 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 yes. Whew. That one just does something every time I listen to it. A-E-I-O-U. I think we got Dawn Osbourne back there. Let's bring Dawn Osbourne onto the stage. Hey, Dawn.
Hey. Good
How are
day.
you?
I am excellent. I am doing exceptionally well. It's a beautiful morning. I've been up since dawn, pun intended.
You're always dawning. You know what I'm saying? It dawned on me the other day. I'm working with Dawn Osbourne. The dawn, the beginning of the new day.
Yes. I had a client that used to call me First Light.
Wow. You are the first light. We are here together today, and I know we just started, weeks and weeks ago. We were just trying this out. You know what I'm saying? And come on, Dawn, and co-host with me, and then it became a thing. So folks are asking for it. We're getting letters and messages from folks that just love this combination. You're on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast, and we're connecting together in the universe. And we're glad that everybody is here who are interested in the elevation of their lives and to move through some of the things that are challenging right now. And first of all, I'd like to ask anybody who's here for the first time, if you're here for the first time, put it in the chat. Let us know how you found out about this program and where you're at. Where are you? And those who have been here before, let us know where you are, how long you've been hanging out with us here at Elevation Time. And yeah, it's time to come together in oneness. So, Dawn, how's it going? Tell me all about it.
Well, it's going really, really well. There's a lot of excitement going on about mind your business and business your mind. People are excited, they're ready. Uh, I have had a great deal of joy in preparing for this. I'm really looking forward to the VIP session where we get the opportunity to connect with the VIPs a week before the class. And so, even as I have a great deal of curriculum already prepared for this master class, being able to take that and customize portions of it for the VIP experience is really exciting because it takes all of my years of experience in working with people and gives me the opportunity to fine tune it and drop in some really special elements. And so that's exciting. And you and I, we teach these master classes all the time, but to be able to add that special element, nobody's doing it. And so I found myself reading the letters we've received and just imagining, spending some time imagining the desires and the input that will come from our VIP session. And I must say, it's very exciting. It's very exciting to intellectually exchange with such brilliant people.
It's an amazing time to be on the planet. And even though the mainstream kind of gives you the inclination that things are really bad. But if you go back to the old days, they were saying the same things. If what you focus on is what you're creating, and if someone or something can get you to focus on the worst part of everything, then you just feel like you can't make it, and you actually self-destruct. A lot of folks have been pre-programmed through auto suggestion to self-destruct. And today we're going to be talking about linguistic parasites, chapter 17 from my book, What's Eating You. And it taps into that, really in an interesting way. I was reading it again this morning and I was like, wow, this is really interesting. It's almost like when you create something, you look back at it, you say, wow, did I create that? And we want to take credit, but actually the universe is flowing through us, and we have to take advantage of the universal vibration that's flowing through us and use it, because we're all getting the message. It's just a matter of whether we're going to use the message and how we'll shape it, because we're all artists. Let's do this really quickly. Take a moment and just imagine that you're giving yourself permission. This is something that we should do each day, is give yourself permission to learn, to grow, to move through challenges, and to learn something new. Just mentally give yourself that permission right now. And once you've given yourself permission, then we'd like to ask for permission. Is it okay that we share some information that you may have never heard before? Is it okay that we talk about some things that might be a little fun, a little entertaining? And is it okay if we also mention some things that could actually agitate you a bit and stir you up? Or some folks get a little angrier and feelings get a little hurt because they didn't learn this before, they didn't know this, or it taps into some of those places where there's a bit of scar tissue. And it is our goal to remove some of that scar tissue and clean out some of those cells mentally, physically, and energetically that can help us grow. Let's do something really quickly. It's an exercise. We're in our class that we're doing on the 6th. We're going to be doing several subconscious alignment exercises, some that help to clear the energetic field and help us tap into the quantum universe or the quantum field even better. So today, let's start off by doing an exercise. And our thymus gland is at the center of our body, or the center of our life. The thymus is connected directly to the heart center. And when you tap on your chest, it harmonizes the immune system, activates the energetic state of courage, love, self first, and it prioritizes our goals. So if our goal today is to learn something new, to become something new, we can tap that into our heart center with this exercise. This is just one of the many exercises we're going to be giving in the class on the 6th of June. And these are things that are healthy habits that help keep us, on the track and on the trail. So what we're going to do, let me see how I can do this. We're going to remove this. And what you do is you focus on what you desire. And then you close your eyes and inhale. And while you're inhaling, tap on your chest. Alternate your hands. And then exhale out through your nose. Inhale through your nose deeply. Hold. And exhale out through your nose. We're going to do this 3 times. It activates the thymus gland and the heart center. Inhale through your nose deeply. Hold. And exhale through your nose deeply. Empty your lungs. Keep tapping your chest. Inhale deeply through your nose. And hold. And take 1 extra breath. And hold. Hold. And exhale deeply through your nose. Now, let's clap and say this process is complete. So let's review really quickly what that is doing. It energizes the thymus gland in the heart center. A lot of things that we're into, that we know by heart, we got to get them out of our heart. They tell you memorize this stuff by heart, but our hearts right now are ready to be activated towards moving towards our desires. So when you have a goal, you do this exercise. You do it each day in the morning or when the day begins or in the dawn. And you tap that in, just like the gorillas. That's why they tap their chest, because it gives them courage. And the reason why a lot of us, we may not move forward, or we may forget, or we may slip in life, is because we lose the courage, and courage is, taken over by what we call fear. So that we don't become inferior and have an inferiority complex, we tap our chest and breathe deeply 3 times, just the way I gave it to you. And you're going to get that and more in our class. Dawn?
Yes, and yes. So we're talking about linguistic parasites today. And as I was driving into the office this morning, I was thinking about how often we speak just I don't want to say the most insane, but the most insane things into our reality, right? With without being conscious, And so, my my auntie used to tell me that she said, "I want you to pay attention to the things you do." She used to say the sins you commit through commission and omission. Omission of being aware. And commission with intentionality, right? Our elders come up with some stuff, right?
You're pretty deep now. Break this down.
Right. So it's the omission of awareness. So it's almost like instinctive in your subconscious mind, I guess is what she's saying. And so, but those things that you do, whether it's with commission or omission, where you are consciously doing it or you are unconsciously doing it. And it's a really deep thought, but I was applying that to the things we say intentionally and the things that we are just conditioned to say. They just happen. You know, like I'm out of my mind. Well, it wasn't until I had an associate that was actually in psychosis and could tell me what it felt like being out of her mind. Because in psychosis, you literally are out of your mind. And she said it's the worst unearthing feeling to have no control over your mind. But people say that all the time. I'm out of my mind right now. What? Well, let's think about what you're really saying. And so those linguistic parasites, when you just give thought to the fact that they can override what you're saying, the parasitic thoughts override, and then when you speak them, you give life to them, right? And so there's this whole push that everyone has ADHD. There's all these thoughts that they put out into the universe, and people buy into it. Oh, I do that all the time. I must have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What is that? Someone they gave you some acronyms and put things together, but then you buy into it by speaking into it. You speak life into it. All these quizzes pop up on social media, and you're tempted to take all these quizzes, and they take you through all these things, and then they label you. And people buy into it. And they buy these apps that are going to help them undo these problems that they don't even have.
95% of our thought process is programmed in the habit brain that we call the subconscious. Between, before birth, we're listening to everything happening in an environment, and, in that embryonic fluid. And once we come into the world, between birth and 7 years old, we're recording devices, recording everything, the beliefs and the habits and the languaging and the responses and the fears and the whether it's good, bad, ugly, up, down, it's phrases and ways of looking at things are all programmed in the subconscious between birth and 7 years old. Now, after 7, we have to start coming online and realizing that certain things that, and it depends on how you're being taught, who's in your life. But to be able to cancel things out and realize that that's a program that was given to me is a powerful thing. Only 5% of what we're thinking, saying, and doing is a part of our conscious minds. We think that we control our thoughts. Like, what's your next thought going to be right now? Some people are able to project what their next thought is going to be because they've got habits. They've got things that they do all the time. So just like tapping on the chest that we just did, this is a huge thing. We could break that down scientifically and spiritually, what just happened. But just know that by doing that, you instill the part of you that wakes up your heart. What is your heart really about? What do you really desire? Because a lot of us have a challenge between, this battle between the head and the heart. The head, there's an old story I used to tell about how the head thinks that it's the intellect, but it thinks that it runs the body. It's in charge. I'm the head. I'm in charge of things. I'm the head of the body. I'm the CEO, right? And the heart is like, you think you're the CEO, but I keep, the blood flowing, and without that blood flowing, we're all through. So I used to tell this story where the head, which is the ego, and the heart go for a walk. And the heart is about seeing and feeling, seeing what's right now, what's real, and feeling. Where the intellect is all about the ego. And they go for a walk in the woods. And they were talking back and forth, and they never agree because the heart and the head very seldom agree. And all of a sudden, they're sitting on a log just talking. And all the animals in the forest come running, and they smell smoke. They say, oh, my God, forest fire, forest fire. The animals are running. And the head jumps up and says, oh, my God, we got to run. And the heart says, but you don't know which way to run because you can't see. Everything in the intellect is from the past. This has never happened before. This is in the now. You're going to let me take over. And the head is like, oh, no, I'm the intellect. I'm in charge. What do you mean? Well, we're going to burn up here because we don't know which way to run. So for the first time, what you're going to have to do, Mr. Head, Mr. Ego, is grab the heart and lift it above your head so that the heart can lead you right out of this forest, because the heart has got to do with intuition. The heart is knowing right now. So, of course, the ego is going to trip, and they're arguing back and forth, and all of a sudden they can feel the heat of the flames. So at the last minute to survive, the head grabs the heart and lifts it above it so that it is first, and let your intuition guide you. And what happens is the head and the heart and the body survive when we get in that emergency mode and we allow our hearts to take over. This is huge, because if our heart is not connected to the intellect correctly, and if there isn't heart-brain coherence and balance, this is why a lot of us end up in the forest fire.
Right. This is why a lot of us end up in the forest. Intuition is key. It can save your life. Really, just being in that. It's a different kind of, your intuition is a different kind of knowing that a lot of us disregard until afterwards. And we're like, I knew that. I knew that was going to happen. Yes, you absolutely did know it. I put on the screen, spelling is really spelling. And people are often so very afraid when you say that something is spelling. But our words are casting spells. And I'm not talking about witchcraft. I'm talking about the power of words and energy. It happens every day.
But actually, it is witchcraft. Check it out. Let's just go here for a second. Witchcraft was originally a question. So when you came into town, you're brand new. The people, you introduce yourself and they would ask you, what's your craft? What do you do? Oh, I'm in the wood cutting. Oh, I change horseshoes. Or, I'm in the garden. It was a witchcraft.
Wow.
Witchcraft you do. What is your craft? This is where the word witchcraft comes from. Now, it was those Catholics who came in and they said, this is bad. People are into plants. They're into using herbs. They're into using natural medicines and things. We don't like that. We'd like folks to come to us through the church to find God for healing. We don't want people out in the woods picking mushrooms and things and taking journeys and learning things outside of what the church is giving. So they made the question witchcraft into what? A person called a witch. And they were involved in witchcraft. Did you know that what they call I don't even want to say the word because it gets real deep. Before the modern church, everybody was into nature. You had to be. This is where the Farmer's Almanac comes from. Those days when people were into nature and they believed that God was a woman. There's a book, When God Was a Woman. It's a really, really, really good book. And today you say that, folks get upset. They get angry. They're clenching their fists. Their foreheads are wrinkled because they say, all that stuff is like from the old days. That's that witchcraft. That you can take some herbs and heal yourself, when we know it's scientifically provable that herbs have certain constituents that they want to pull out. Even the doctors and pharmacists want to pull out active constituents from herbs to make them into something that they can control and sell to you. So this is witchcraft, and we are spelling. And did you know that English is the only language that they call spelling? Because your words are putting a spell. You're using your words as a craft. To what? To spell something out, to create something. And that's what is controlling our outcome in life. A lot of times it's our brain, our frontal brain, which has to do with the words we're using. So we are involving ourselves in it's a spell. Even
everything is a spell. Your belief is a spell. Prescriptions are a spell. They're telling you, they're prescribing something to you, and you take it, and it's going to have a different effect on the other side. It just doesn't have the negative connotation of witchcraft, but it's a craft. They're crafting medicines. They're prescribing them to you. They're giving them to you in doses. You're supposed to take them ritualistically 3 times a day. So
for the rest of
doses
your
and
life.
rituals happen with the prescriptions. And you believe that by taking this 3 times a day, you'll be cured or healed. But that languaging isn't in the medical model. We're prescribing this, take it and you'll feel better. But it has all of the elements that I just described. It's prescribed to you. The daily ritual is given to you. And at the end of this ritual, you will have healing because you'll be better. It's the same thing. It's just not worded that way.
And that's not to say that there are not times when we should use what we call pharmaceutical or modern medicine, especially in emergencies. That system is really strong for emergencies, but what we're talking
I
about.
think the system works when it works. I wasn't even talking about the prescriptions, the medicine, or anything in it. I was talking about the process,
Yes.
what it's called, and the rituals and the end result. I'm talking about the steps and the end results as opposed to anything involved in what you're taking. I'm just talking about the languaging of a ritual that would be called which if it weren't, but it is the same thing. It's a prescription. It's a ritual with a desired outcome. That's it.
A pre-script.
A prescript.
Something written, words, already a language. We're talking about linguistics today. A language that is pre-written for you. It's a prescription. And they're like
now
you
go
say,
to shun and potion.
Watch it now.
We're going deep, Doc.
Going deep, Don. Oh boy, here we go.
Right? Because it's a prescript
potion.
A
prescript potion.
A prescript potion.
Had to drink a little tea on that one.
A prescript potion with a scripted ritual and a desired outcome.
It's the language and how it's used. And they write down exactly what's going to happen. And this is a deep thing because many of the medicines actually are, they don't really do anything. The doctor is telling you what they're going to do. What do they call that? What do they call a medicine that they give you? This is a test for anyone out there. What is it called when you're given a medicine that doesn't really do anything, but then they tell you what it's going to do and you believe it, so it does it? Who out there in the audience knows what that's called? A medicine that doesn't necessarily do anything. A placebo.
Someone said it.
A placebo. The placebo syndrome is when you believe something is doing something, so it does. Think about that. How many placebos out there? How many placebos are you taking when you think each day about yourself? A placebo. It's really not real, this thought that you have. Oh, I don't think I can make it in business, and my family doesn't have the knowledge of blah, 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 blah. And this runs in our family. The beliefs that we should be struggling and failing, and the belief that there's not enough money out there. Because, you keep hearing about there's no money. And Dawn, you've proved that there's money that just can fall from the sky.
Whew, as I have been preparing for this class and finding money for single mothers or minority-owned businesses or women-owned minority businesses or businesses, scholarships for people that are 5 feet and below. Like I had the scholarship directory that I came across that I created years ago. And so now I have my assistant pulling up all the different scholarships, but they literally had a scholarship for people that were 5 feet and below.
Huh? I thought you were joking.
No, I'm serious. Someone decided that people that were 5 feet and below did not have access to as many scholarships as other people. And so they created a scholarship for whatever it was. And it was to get, if they had to be, because this was all for schools. So they had to be, it was a scholarship for people that were 5 feet and below that were in high school and in college because they felt that they were disproportionately they were prejudiced. There were people that prejudiced against shorter people and they didn't have as many opportunity. So they created a scholarship for them. It's wild what people will do. But if I became a trillionaire, as they say that this man is getting ready to become the first one with this new things being launched. So if I became a trillionaire and I'm 4'11" and it was harder for me in life, now everyone else that's just below 5 feet, I think they should have some extra help. So I'm going to create this scholarship for them. People do that with money. There's so much money available. And then I was putting together, how do you get into space to have your product or service contracted with any city, state, county, or U.S. government? How many contracts are available? And how do you put yourself or your company in position to be able to be a caterer that provides natural food to NASA?
What?
There's monies available. There's contracts available. And so as I'm preparing for this, I'm so excited because I have been looking at how do we present as many opportunities as possible for all of these people with businesses that don't realize the opportunities are everywhere. Today's going to be deep. So tell a friend, tell someone to log in because we're talking about the monies that are available. We're talking about the language that's getting in the way of you even realizing that you are eligible for these monies. There's money everywhere. I mean, Dr. B, I need you to find money, 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 money. Because it's everywhere. I'm a money magnet. I just found a grant for someone that was $25 million that we're going to be applying for that I wasn't even aware was there. And so there's billions of dollars being given away or that are available to be given away. Do you know how much money LA Metro has in their minority line item that they can't give away? They can't contract out because people are not applying for it. We need a new money song. We need medicine music song titled Money. That's what we need, Dr. B.
Call it currency.
Currency. The frequency of the currency. That's a frequency, Dr. B. We need that. Make that note.
You see, I have to remember that one. So I think one of the things that keeps us from tapping in is the language that we've learned and the way we speak, which is, words or thoughts become words. Words turn into actions. Actions become habits, and habits harden into character. So that's why we're talking about this chapter today, Linguistic Parasites, because the wording and the language is what you're going to need to actually tap into these grants, but you're also going to need to have a new language with yourself and realize that you may be under the spell, right, of the spell of disempowerment. You may not realize that there is liberation right around the corner, and there's people who are ready to give you something if you know how to tap into it and if you know how to ask for it. What are you asking for in your life? What are you believing? What are you saying? So, Dawn, let's go into reading a little bit from the book, and I think folks will see how this whole thing ties together.
Okay, well, we had one person say that we needed a question mark, man. I said, no, we have an exclamation mark. Wow, man. So, yeah, that's what we have. The question marks are there. Those question marks were left you with questions. Exclamation marks lead you to money.
Say that again.
Question marks leave you with questions. The exclamation marks and this wow, man, take you to the money. I show you the money. And so we're going to dive into the book. And so this is an amazing chapter. Thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become habits, habits harden into character. That's a Buddhist proverb. As you transform your life and cast off what's been eating you from the inside out, this ancient statement becomes essential. Every word is a seed, every sentence carries a vibration. What you consistently speak shapes what you consistently experience. We must learn to speak the language of empowerment instead of the language of struggle. Words are not just sounds, they are commands to the subconscious, instructions to your biology, and frequencies that call matter into form. Language can be one of the most powerful parasites. It uses the resources of its host. Words influence thinking, emotions, and what we magnetize into our lives. Struggle is effort merged with disagreeable emotion. I'm going to say that again. Struggle is effort merged with disagreeable emotion. And today it's common for people to decorate their conversations with complaints, drama, discord, judgment, and self doubt. I'm going to just say one other thing. We always talk about when we're growing up, your parents tell you no cursing.
Wow.
Right? They tell you no cursing. We don't curse in this house. Think about that word, cursing. When you're cursing someone out, I'm cussing you out. It's cursing you out. I'm sending curses your way. Words are crazy. And so choose your words. The vibration of those words that are labeled as curse words is so low. Every word has a vibration. Those words are so low in vibration. Okay, so.
Wait a minute now. Curse. Etymology.
Yes.
Old English. A prayer that evil or harm befall one. Consignment of a person to an evil fate of uncertain origin. No similar
Wow.
words. no, no similar words exist in Germanic Romance or Celtic. Middle English compendium says probably from the Latin cursus or course, like a course, like a class. In the Middle Christian sense, set daily liturgical prayers. To set daily liturgical prayers is a curse.
Right.
To extend to set a set of implications. As in sentence of the great curse. The formula read in churches 4 times a year is a curse. What? Setting forth various offenses which entailed automatic excommunication of the offender. I'm confused. The excommunications so imposed. Connection with cross is unlikely. You know, this stuff becomes confusing. Is it good or is it bad?
Well, the thing is, it's the goal is to confuse you.
A curse is a course. Not to be confused with swear. It's a course. A running, a journey, direction, a track navigated by a ship is a curse or a course. A flow of a stream. I'm done. No cursing. Don't have a course. Then they got this thing called bad words. There's good words and it's bad words.
Don't say no bad words.
Of course, they say
Ooh, he said a bad word.
ooh. Wow.
Wow. So when you think about the indoctrination that takes place, just societal indoctrination, this is really deep.
I'm running out of tea. I got this tea I made today called Calm Down. It's the only way I'm able to hold this, because this is a whole discussion right here. How we were programmed to spell out our world. To spell out our world.
This is my dose today. You have tea. I have the Platinum Life.
I got some too.
Passion and Focus.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's called lovely.
Today is a lovely day. The combination of focus, platinum, and passion. Oh, it's a different kind of exhale. And so we choose. Today I chose bliss, because passion, focus, and platinum is bliss. I am on the wings of love, literally, right? It's a really, really magical feeling. And so we get to choose how we're going to feel. We just don't move in that energy. I draw a circle on the floor before I step out of my bed, and I step into that intention. Whatever my intention is today, for the day. Before I touch anything, I sit. I take a couple of really deep breaths and think about what my intention is going to be for the day. I literally draw a circle on the floor and step into that circle and say, my day is covered and filled with the intention that I have set for that day.
We're going to teach that in the class too, the winner's circle. It's actually a part of subconscious alignment. There's things that we should do each day before we step out into the world. And this causes you to speak differently and act differently, because your thoughts and words are connected. So when we talk about these linguistic parasites, the way that we deal with them is we start becoming more focused with our words and careful with our thought. And, our mind basically is going to follow what new rules we set out. We have to have a craft, a way that we, formulate our lives and mold our lives. And speaking is very important. How we speak, when we speak, and let's not let our words devour us. Are we going back to the book now?
It's our words are powerful, right? So I'm on the last paragraph of page 175. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. How often do you read out loud? It's so powerful to read out loud. Spending this time with you all and reading out loud is such a blessing to me. But we should be reading out loud every single day. When you're spending your time reading, take the moment to read out loud, project your voice, use that sense of speaking. And when you're doing that, especially reading something as powerful as this book, you are embodying the energy in two different ways. You're seeing it, you're activating multiple senses as you're taking in the information. So spend some time and read out loud, right? We're so stuck in reading on our phones. And get a book, hold it in your hands, fill the paper, read out loud, make some notes. I think last week we were talking about the fact that they took cursive writing out of school.
Cursive.
I just didn't, they took cursive out of the schools. They don't teach cursive anymore. And my daughter was saying that they didn't teach her cursive. And so I told her to learn cursive. Everyone should learn the writing, the cursive writing, being able to write, being able to take pride in what you're writing and the way you write. So anyway, and reading out loud. So I just wanted to add that. How we choose to speak becomes either a lockdown or a liberator. Every word evokes a feeling, and every feeling defines your perception of reality. Words and thoughts generate measurable energy that vibrates through every cell. Habitual speech patterns can either fortify or weaken your body. When the vibration of our language is pleasurable and high, the body moves into harmony, immunity strengthens, cells regenerate, and vitality increases. Every word we utter is a spell, so spell wisely. Word alchemy. Learning to speak in a way that moves you toward more desirable outcomes is not optional, it's essential. To reach higher goals, we must upgrade our speech patterns. Get out of Babylon now. Babylon. So many people just babble on and on. This is a virus, a plague that infects the mind and cultures, causing people to speak endlessly without awareness or purpose. Do you have this virus? Do you talk about what you don't know? Do you repeat stories from your past? Do you gossip, complain, or emotionally recycle things you only heard about? Babbling is the language of separation and insecurity, the vocabulary of struggle. Choose your words deliberately. Don't babble on and on. History does not repeat itself, people do. There's no need to relive the same stories unless you're learning or creating new habits of wholeness. Think 5 times before you speak once and be sure not to repeatedly broadcast the language of ego, victimhood, or limitation. It's imperative to practice conscious speech progression, your verbal defense system against these powerful parasites. They thrive whenever you speak unconsciously. Your words either cleanse or contaminate your mental ecosystem. Your words either cleanse or contaminate your mental ecosystem. That's deep. The language of disempowerment. These statements are energy vampires, draining your true potential and reinforcing limitations. I don't have. I'm trying. I wish I had. I've got bad luck. I'm broke. I'm sick. I hope I don't get. I'm not too bright. I'm tired. I give up. We're in a recession. Cancel, clear, cut, delete. I'm reading it, but I don't want that in my space.
Whew, let it go.
Cancel, clear, cut, delete. All of those phrases. Every time you speak this, you reaffirm a frequency of lack, fatigue, and defeat. And the reason I said cancel, clear, cut, delete is because my subconscious mind doesn't know that I'm not stating these things and I'm just reading them from a book. So I got to be very aware, even as I'm reading out loud, that I make sure to cancel, clear, cut, delete those things that I do not want, those things that I desire, my subconscious mind deletes. You see how I changed the way I said that? I was going to say that I do not want my subconscious to hold on to, but my subconscious mind doesn't know the words not. And so I had to, I think I'm frozen. My internet is really bad.
I see you.
You see me, but you can't hear me.
I hear you and see you.
You hear me? Okay.
Your picture's just frozen, but your words are not.
Okay, my picture's frozen, my words are there, so that's a good thing. Technology at its best. So being able to make sure that we cancel, clear, cut, delete, so that we can make sure we are aware of what we are delivering to our subconscious mind is so important.
And that way you get to pull it back. our thoughts and our words are traveling very, very fast through the universe. And to snatch something back that we've said, that we choose in no way to have gravity or to have energy or to throw that out into the world, you can pull it back. Cancel, cut,
Right.
delete, and clear is what you say when you've said something and you realize that you'd like to change it. So cancel, cut, delete, and clear. Um, yeah, let's talk about the word alchemy, language upgrades.
Okay, word alchemy and language upgrades. Alchemy is the science of transformation, turning base metals into gold. Word alchemy is turning weak language into powerful declarations. Here's how we transmute limitation into liberation. Old code. So I'm going to read old code and then upgrade frequency. I'm going to try. I will allow. I want. I wish. My choice is. I need. I want. I desire. I should. I will. I would. I will. I'm not. I am. I must. I've got to. I choose to. I don't know. I choose to know. You make me. I create for myself. It's hard. It's a challenge, an opportunity. Worst case scenario, my highest choice is speak only of what you desire to become.
You know what's interesting is the old code, the words that you mentioned in the old code is a part of our language syntax that we're taught from children to speak this way.
Mm-hmm.
And these slight upgrades change everything. It's like opening a valve because the way we were taught basically like slaves.
Yes.
Everybody. You're taught the language that's going to keep you on the farm. It's going to keep you closed in like sheep and you become sheeple. But in order to jump the fence and to get out of the farm, you've got to speak an upgraded frequency language. You see, so on page 178 in the book, this is something to memorize and to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because what we're doing is we're saying things that are putting a spell, a habitual spell on us staying in the farm. And this is about breaking free from the language that creates that slavery mentality, that work hard and just you're going to work hard, you're going to catch this, you're going to get that, you're going to die. It's all of these things that are painful to ourselves. Ourselves, our body are listening to the vibration we put out. So upgrade our frequency and we upgrade our lives.
You know, there's a word in here, Dr. B, that I want people to understand, in that it's a challenge. When you tell your subconscious mind that something is a challenge, the subconscious mind believes I can handle that. That's an opportunity. Let's get at it. Let's do it. A challenge is, as much as you would think is a negative thing, it's such a positive thing because challenges happen all the time. And we're inclined to meet the challenge and surpass the challenge.
Challenge tells your subconscious that you're a child again. And
Mm-hmm.
children love challenges, whether it's racing, playing games on the playground. The challenge vibration breaks through the spell of that things are broken and I can't get past. It's a challenge. Or another one is to say we have an opportunity. Instead of saying, well, we got a problem, we have an opportunity or we have a challenge. And then that puts your mindset in the place of let's work through it and let's play. Let's have some fun. Let's calm down, because otherwise we go into flight or flight. We go into stress and the cortisol and all of those hormones that are screaming, saying we got a problem. They calm down.
Golden Sun Kiss, can you do me a favor? My email is there on the under my picture. It's dawn@elevationtime.com. Can you send me an email so that we can make sure that we get you your book, your cleanse, and we get you the registration for the class. We've been trying to figure out how to get in touch with you. So please send us an email with your address, and we want to make sure you get in the class, Golden Sun Kiss.
So where are we?
We are on conscious speech progression, a simple practice for linguistic mastery and energetic hygiene. Even that, linguistic mastery and energetic hygiene, that's deep. Conscious speech progression. It's a simple practice for linguistic mastery and energetic hygiene. Pause before speaking. Ask, is there a need to talk right now? Check your intention. What energy is fueling these words? Fear or clarity? Choose consciously. Select words that convey your heart's true desire. Be specific. Avoid vagueness. Words gain power through precision. Instead of my parents, say their names. Instead of my job, name your workplace. Instead of I can't find a job, say I'm finding work. Or work is finding me. Right? Call it into existence. Replace I wish I could get it together with I'm creating success. Language is frequency. Speech is vibration. When you master your words, you master your world. Through word alchemy, you dissolve linguistic parasites and reclaim the creative authority of the divine word within. In the beginning was the word, and the word is creating through us. So I'm going to read that again. In the beginning was the word, and the word is creating through us. Our subconscious is faithfully delivering your heart's desire based on the feeling state your thoughts create. The subconscious takes you literally. Language is the symbol set for your thinking. The subjective mind is a loyal servant. It treats your habitual thoughts, words, and actions as prayers, desires, and commands, then expands them. That's really deep when you think about that. Your subjective mind is a loyal servant. It treats your habitual thoughts, words, and actions as prayers, desires, and commands, then expands them. Every thought plants, huh? Yes.
We got to go back. You got to read that one more time, please.
Okay, I'm going to read that one more time. I was compelled to read it twice, and I think a third time will be the charm. The subjective mind is the loyal servant. It treats your habitual thoughts, words, and actions as prayers, desires, and commands, then expands them. And so the then expands them is wow, right? So it's taking these habitual thoughts, words, and actions, labeling them and claiming them as prayers, which are your wishes for things to come to fruition, desires, and commands. Prayers, desires, and commands, and then expands them. Whew.
See, the objective mind is your consciousness. It has objectives. There's things it would like to do. That's your ego. That's what you desire. That's what you're supposed to be moving for. That's your ID. That's you, who you think you are. The unconscious mind or the subconscious mind is the subjective mind. It's the subject. It is like the subject does the work. What is the subject? The subjective mind has been told by the objective mind through life, through habits, what we are, what we're here doing, who we're being. So if your subjective mind doesn't believe that you could have a successful business or successful life or even heal your body from some illness that they say is incurable, then guess what? That's the subject. That's what gets written in the code. but your objective mind is the one that's really doing the programming. So the subjective mind is your subconscious. It's a subject. It works for you. But if it's programmed with all the language of struggle, then guess what? You're struggling. And if you listen to most people today, they speak the language of struggle. And it's habitual because they're not in full control by thinking before they speak. That sometimes we don't even need to speak. Just be quiet. Because most of our language is basically eating us alive.
There's a question there.
Can I command my reality to expand and make room for me and all that I have rule over? Yes. We have the power to create. We're very creative, but we're also beautiful. We're being ourselves. We're being you, beautiful. But the you sometimes is not the true you. It's like a ghost. And it's a program that was given to you. A lot of your ideas not even yours. A lot of your ideas are not yours. They were handed down like old pants and clothes and shoes and toys. So we have to break those spells. And it's not easy, but it's simple by slowly breaking spells day by day, becoming a spell breaker. You see?
You know, you have to replace those spells. When you break a spell, you replace it. And so that's what hypnotherapy does, right? We debunk we reprogram the subconscious mind. We take those belief patterns that have been ingrained and we go into the trance state and we help you not only undo them, but we replace them with the suggestions of what it is that you desire.
Yes.
We test your suggestibility, whether you're literal or inferred, and then we use that method that the way you learn, if you learn literally or if you're an inferred learner, and then we reprogram by implanting the suggestions of what it is that you truly desire. And we do that in a trance state because we have to, the hypnotherapy bypasses the conscious mind and goes right into the subconscious mind. It breaks the spells, it reprograms the subconscious, and it replaces with suggestions that match your highest desire. I love you, Butterfly Kiss, because you just took what I put there and I just was able to just tap into what you were saying and right on it. I need you at my hip forever, Butterfly Kiss, because you were right on point.
See, auto-suggestion is thoughts and ideas and commands that are on automatic. The subconscious is an automatic mind. You automatically feel something when somebody says something about you. Automatically. We automatically jump into rage or joy or because somebody says something. There was an old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words could never hurt me. But today, we live in this society where the words are so important. We get all bent out of shape and we lose the control of our vehicle, our ship. We let go of the wheel. How many of you have been in a place where you're the driver of your life and at some point you let go of the wheel and you gave it to parents and you gave it to politicians or whatever is you're allowing to control your mindset. You gave it to your loved one because they love me, so they're protecting me. Well, you can't start your own business. You've never did this. You don't know that, blah, 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 blah. So you don't do it. You don't move forward. Your life is a business. Successful businesses have certain things they do. They speak a certain way. You'd have to look at what they're saying about when you go to a website and it tells you about us, right? And it's a big business. Watch the words. Listen to the way they're talking. They don't talk the language of loss. They're talking the language of gain. When we're selling ourselves, this is really big even in sales, or if you have a project that you're attempting to convey to other people to get people on board, you have to speak to what people desire. We're going to be talking about that in our class too. See, a lot of folks, you want to talk about how big your business is and how long you've been in business and how long your hair is and how big your ego is and how many degrees you got. People don't care. That doesn't mean anything. They want to know what they're going to get. And your words, what you say about what they're going to receive by being a part of your system is really important. What am I going to get? Let me show you an example. In fact, I'll show you a great example. I didn't know.
While you're doing that, Dr. B, I want to just, as you're getting ready to show. Oh, go ahead. I'll call when you finish. Go ahead.
Okay, so taking this class, this is what you will receive. Check out the wording. Position yourself for grants, funding, and investor opportunities. Would you like that? Of course. Defy hidden financial and business opportunities most people overlook. Wow, there's something hidden I overlooked. Mm-hmm. Build the discipline and and what's that word? Execution habits that create real success. Would you like that? Of course. Align your thoughts, energy, business strategy with daily actions. Explore ways to conduct your life like a business to live a healthier, wealthier, and more joyful life. Create healthier mental, emotional, and lifestyle patterns that support abundance and long-term success. Now, Dawn and I could sit here and run off all the accolades. Dawn has got so many certificates, it's ridiculous. I got certificates too. It's just certified. So, but that doesn't mean anything to the people who would like to actually gain something from us. They want to know, what am I going to get? People are a bit selfish. When you come to this class, these are the things that you're going to receive. That's how you run a great business. Now, if you're asking for something in life, a lot of people talk too much. This is a big thing I find about folks. They talk too much. I was talking to a guy just yesterday, and he would like me to produce him. This guy went on and on and on about all this stuff. He never really got down to the real question, asking me to produce him. So I could say no. But he went, I did this. I worked with this person. I was back in the day. I such and such, and I don't care. I'd like to know, what would you like of me? To be able to say what you'd like to the universe each day. Like Dawn talked about, stepping into the winner's circle. You are commanding with your words and your thoughts every day, and you don't realize it. But if you're commanding through repetition, you're making a command of failure. You're telling yourself you're a failure. You're thinking about failure. You're thinking, because you don't feel worthy. You don't feel your best. I don't know if I'm going to really do this. And this guy kept talking to me, I don't really sing that good, but I sang on this record. I really don't sing that good. And I started listening and focusing on his singing. And guess what? He didn't sing that good. But guess what? I didn't care about it because the music was good. You see, if he didn't tell me to focus on the worst, I wouldn't have focused on it. When you're selling your business, you're selling yourself. You must give the people who you're attempting to sell or to attract to your business, there's a certain language you're going to need to speak, and that language cannot be a language that is one of disempowerment. So language is very important when presenting yourself to the universe, presenting yourself for business opportunities, even presenting yourself to your body. You've got a health condition. You need to talk to your body each day and not focus on the problem or the symptom, but focus on the goal, and live as if it's already happened. Live as if your dream has already come true.
There's two comments in the chat that I want to speak to. Speaking tends to be easier than writing. Then speak it into a device, have it transcribe it, take it and print it, and then practice writing it. The next comment was, I express myself better through transcribing and writing. Then write it out and speak it out. Because what you want to do is you want to train both parts of your brain to be equally as comfortable. And so as you're speaking and then you write it, and then you allow yourself, as you're writing it, say, I allow myself to continue to this expression through writing. And then that expression that you have spoken out and you are now writing will become fluent and you will be able to express more. Do it with your left hand and it will activate even more. Practice writing with both your right hand and your left hand. It will expand your ability to write. If you write and you want to be able to speak those same emotions and expressions, I had a client that could not express herself, but she could tell you everything you needed to know in her feelings by writing it out. So I challenged her to write it out and then speak it and allow herself, give herself permission as she was speaking what she had written to expound on it. And so before you start reading it, tell yourself, I am allowed to take these feelings that I'm going to read and further express them and expand them verbally, because verbal expression was a challenge. And so you just give yourself permission and you do it the other way. But that technique of writing with your right hand and your left hand is one that we'll probably go over in the class, where you ask yourself a question and you write it with your non-dominant hand. You write the answer with your non-dominant hand. It'll blow your mind. So there's so many things that so many techniques and tips and strategies that we will give you to allow you to stay in your power during this class. Because the subconscious mind is a powerful, powerful realm, but it's just like a file cabinet. So if your subconscious mind is a file cabinet and it has 4 drawers, every time something that happens that is high in energy, good or bad, that top drawer is going to fly out. The file is going to fly up and say, here, use this. It happens. The subconscious mind thinks it can give you the answer for everything. And so it's going to take those files and give it to you, and you're going to repeat that. You're going to repeat that step and do it the same way, because you're allowing the subconscious mind to be in the driver's seat.
There is a technique that we are going to do in the class. It's called transcoding. This is, to me, this is worth the whole class, to learn how to transcode, how to transfer what's in your head to paper and then transcribe that to both sides of your head. This is deep. When I learned this in school, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I see why they took cursive out of school. I see why they took handwriting out of school. I see why Dawn talks about thinking in ink. Because when you transcode, and there's many different types of transcoding, you write, right? You put cast your nets to the right. Isn't that from the Bible? Cast your net to the right. Move into writing. Write has a lot to do. Check this out. Do you know how they know which proteins are toxic for humans and which ones are okay, good for humans? Because they put a laser light through the protein. And if the laser light bends to the right, then that is a protein that is something you could absorb and it's going to be nutrition for you. If that protein light, if that laser light spins to the left, then it's toxic. See, we've got to cast the spell, cast our energy to the right. We got to become righteous. You see, becoming righteous, sometimes we're not, because we're so used to not using our left hand. This is deep. To become more righteous, I know I'm getting off the track, but this is on the beaten course. We we're told to be dominant with right hands or left hand. A lot of people who were left-handed were forced to be right-handed. Right. A lot of people who are left-handed, people who are left-handed are extremely creative. They tap into the part of their brain that extends into imagination. But someone told them that was not good. We got to make you right-handed so you can be more acceptable, so you can be more of this. So we wrote off our true genius. And genius is the knowledge of knowing without learning. But when you begin to score and do this transliteration technique in class, changes everything. Changed everything for me, because you become a bit ambidextrous. You're going to use both sides of your brain. We're going to create a balanced brain system, a whole brain state. Just in the beginning of the class, the first half hour is going to shift you into a whole brain state. Now, if those of you who were here in the beginning, I asked you to tap on your chest. What what we were doing was the beginning of the transcoding. You were right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, chapping on your chest. Just by doing that, you were beginning to transcode into your body the vibration of courage. If you listen to most programs, most of the news, it's breaking into the spell of look, it's bad, it's rough, it's terrible. There's no good news, nothing good out there. So those beings that use your energy, and there are beings that use your energy, the energy of fear, the energy of pain, the energy of disgust. You know what I'm saying? All of those energies they're being absorbed by these creatures that use that fuel. So transcoding and learning to use both sides of your brain, it's not only going to be great for your busyness, your busyness, but your life busyness. We're gonna take the same things that you do to have a successful business and have a more successful life. So we're going to talk about that in the class. So make sure you're there. How many of y'all have signed up
This
for the
class
class?
is going to be amazing.
How many people out there have signed up for the class and are in the class? It is online right now at elevationtime.com.
It is online, and we did send it out in the newsletter for this class. And we will be sending out more to everyone that has submitted their letters. So those will be going out today. And so, but send your letters in too to Dawn@elevationtime.com, and we are sending them out today with the link so that everyone can register. How many have registered? There are some that have registered from the link that was in the notification for today's live.
You can also get there now by going to elevationtime.com. Elevationtime.com. You can go there, you can sign up, and then you can send Dawn your letter. We got a lot of letters. I saw the list of letters, Dawn.
Oh my goodness. And so there was a lot of letters. I saw the list of letters, and there were a lot. And one of the other things that we're doing is we are just the VIP. And we had a question last week. The VIP question was because people were challenged with the payment, and we fixed that too. You can now use Affirm to pay for the class, where you will pay in payments. So that we wanted everyone to be able to have this opportunity. And so we said, how can we make this not only a great opportunity, but available to everyone? So you can use Affirm. We suggested that you get a couple of people together and sit and watch it together. That's only for the general admission. The VIP, says VIP stands for very important person. Is for one person, right? But our goal is to get this information to as many people, in the hands of as many people as possible. And so you don't want to miss it. It's very, very exciting to be able to be in communion with you. This is really going to be being in communion. It's being in community, being able to deliver the information through the master class. But it's going to be a completely interactive class. A completely interactive class. We'll have breakout sessions. We'll go into breakout rooms. So mind your business, business your mind. Your business can never consistently outperform your mindset. And your life can never consistently outperform your habits. What if you learn how to think, move, execute, and position yourself like a high-level business so you could create more wealth, more health, more clarity, more peace, and more purpose? That's awesome, Dr. B.
Mind Your Business and Business Your Mind is a one-day transformational holistic masterclass created for entrepreneurs, visionaries, healers, nonprofit leaders, creators, and purpose-driven individuals who are ready to stop surviving and start strategically building the life they were created for.
So if you want to position yourself for grants, fundings, and investor opportunities, If you want to identify hidden financial and business opportunities most people overlook, like I was talking about those contracts and grants and scholarships, if you want to build the discipline and execution habits that create real success, right? And listen to that. It's not just creating the discipline, it's the execution habits. How do you execute? You're taking all this information. We want to show you how to create the execution habits that create real success by breaking the conditioning and habits that the subconscious mind has. The average masterclass does not tap into the habits that you have that have been ingrained into your subconscious mind. Align your thoughts, energy, business strategy, and daily actions. Again, execution and action. Do. My initials, do. You've got to do something. You've got to think and ink. But even after you think and ink and you write it out, you've got to execute. Explore more ways to conduct your life like a business, to live a healthier, wealthier, and more joyful life. People don't use the word joy. They talk about happiness. Happiness is fleeting. Joy is everlasting, right? Creating healthier mental, emotional, and lifestyle patterns that support abundance and long-term success.
Uh-oh. Because go ahead,
go ahead, Dr. B.
Oh, I'll read it. Because success is not random, success is engineered. Most people are trying to change their lives without changing their systems.
Ooh, can you read that again?
Most people are trying to change their lives without changing their systems. That part?
That part.
Most people are trying to change their lives without changing their systems. But when your mind, habits, business model, and daily actions become aligned, your results begin to multiply.
So the general admission is $333. The VIP experience is $497. The VIP includes a longer term of replay access, a downloadable workbook, priority Q&A. That's that Q&A that happens a week before. And in that Q&A, we're going to listen to you. We're going to interact with you. And then we will pick and choose the examples of businesses to integrate into the masterclass curriculum. There's going to be a bonus guided meditation and affirmation. There's VIP integration support. You can register now by going to the website, elevationtime.com. When you do register, you're still going to need to send your 2 paragraphs. If you've already sent them, don't worry about it. But you're going to need to send 2 paragraphs to Dawn at elevationtime.com, letting us know why you want to be in this class. But register now, because the VIPs, I'm not exactly sure of the cutoff number, but that VIP experience with the week before, we want to make extremely special. So we will be capping that, and I don't know the number because I'm not looking at my notes, but that's a very special experience. And so the entire masterclass will be filled with not just information and rhetoric. It'll be filled with experiences and techniques and strategies that will literally change your subconscious mind. And you will leave with tools that you can continue to do, to continue to refine, to make sure that what we give you not only happens, but lands, that you have tools that you can. How many of you have shelves and shelves and shelves of self-help books and have sat in countless workshops and webinars, and then you can't remember? We will give you the tools that will enable the things that we're teaching to land and become a part of your daily integration, so that you can not just take it in, but you can execute and implement it into your life and make a difference.
You know, it took emergencies throughout culture, throughout time, to create new businesses, for people to change when their job was no longer there. Some emergency happened in their lives and they had to pivot and flow into something new. And this is one of those times we are seeing an emergency. You like that? I grab that pivot and flow, dog. But
That pivot
we're
and flow is
seeing,
hard.
you see,
That's dope.
I have to put that. That's a song too. Pivot and flow. That could be a stepper.
Ah,
Put that steppers type groove. That you know what I'm saying? That two step from Chicago, Detroit. Anyway,
pivot, flow,
pivot.
pivot, flow. 1, 2 step. See,
So
Jeffrey woo woo woo. Did I pivot and flow?
yes, yes, yes. But when an emergency happens, opportunity happens. Sometimes there are emergencies that were created just so that people would rush out and buy things. All they got to do is say it's a terrible storm coming. People go buy Band-Aids, they buy toilet paper, they buy paper towels, they're getting, whatever, because they heard something was about to happen. That's an emergency. And when you emerge and create that emergency in your life, you emerge so that you can see what would be better. How would you like to have some extra income? The more income, to have more income, you got to have more outcome. So there's some things that you could do, and there's some things that you could have that's on automatic right now with AI and all of this. You could have a business that's just creating while you could be working your regular job. I know of an artist. She's a rapper, and I'm not going to say her name right now, but she was really big for a while. And I'd go in Whole Foods and she's working in Whole Foods in the supplement aisle. I'm like, wait a minute, how come you're not on the road? She says, no, that's happening automatically. People are buying my CDs and I go do a tour every other week or so. But also I'm working here because I get to meet a lot of people. I like working in the supplement aisle at Whole Foods. You see, so just imagine that there is a business model in all of us. And even if you don't desire to, you in no way desire, cancel, cut, delete, and clear. Even if you in no way desire to open up your own business, your life should be a business. If you're looking at healing your body, you're going through an illness, there is a system, right? You just can't take the herbs and say, I hope the herbs work. You're already failing by saying, I hope the herbs work. You've got to hold the herbs in your hand and imagine that they are working. You have to feel it as if whatever you desire has already happened. Be grateful in advance. I'm grateful for what these herbs and this product called Focus. You see, people say, I hope this product Focus, Dr. B, helps me focus. You're not focusing right now. You have to hold it in your hand and say, focus, love, peace, harmony. So life should be kind of like a business runs a business. A business runs a business. A person runs a business. So anyway, it's going to be fun. So let's read a little bit more from the book. We're going to read some more from the book, though.
Yeah, I want to read some more of the book. Okay. Every thought plants seeds of heaven or hell. Now that you know this, no more mixing signals with scrambled words. We were taught that wise ones think 5 times before speaking. No more speaking with a forked tongue. Say what you mean, act, and live on purpose. The subconscious doesn't speak English. It perceives emotion and pattern. It translates your feelings into symbols and sorts them by tone and energy level. Intense emotions are prioritized and recalled instantly. Since the subconscious has no sense of time, a triggered memory feels like the present. That's why unprocessed experiences from the past replay in the body as if they are in the now. Cells thrive when the inner environment is stable and conducive to growth. In protection, fight or flight, immune function and digestion slow down. Blood leaves the forebrain to flow to the muscles. If emotionally charged, words and thoughts keep firing the survival signal. The body keeps replaying the crisis. Mind is the first medicine and the first illness. Your thinking shapes your state of being. Many common phrases are abstract to the subconscious and get filed by their most substantial emotional anchor. Example, I do not want to feel bad anymore. Your conscious mind understands the intent. Your subconscious mind locks onto the feeling of badness and serves it up more. Do and not cancel each other. Want vibrates desire without action. Upgrade the syntax and the signal upgrades. Let go of blame. It's about power. You're gaining the tools to starve linguistic parasites and feed the original self. Choose wisely, become a spell breaker. Whatever you dwell on is the temple where you pray. You are a genie doing daily magic for better or better. Create language from your
Let's go
highest
back now.
desires, not from old limiting thoughts. At first, it takes focus like learning to walk or drive, then it becomes automatic. Create
Whatever
language
you
from.
dwell on
Mhm.
is the temple where you pray. Whatever you dwell on is the temple where you pray. Think about that for a minute.
That's deep. So think about the things that you dwell on, and that's a temple where you pray. And so those are the things you're calling into existence. Manifestation happens in your conscious mind. You are consciously calling these things into existence because you're dwelling on them, right? You're dwelling on your bills, then more show up. You know, if when I said this and someone called me and said, Dawn, I was watching you and Dr. B, and you said that you put in your mind that your bank account would not drop below $10,000, and it doesn't. It's just the way it's what I think. It's what I'm calling into existence. It's a pattern that I created. You know, when we talk about pattern interrupt, that is my pattern. I have created it. It is my reality, and that's where that's what I dwell on, and that's the temple where I pray. And so there it is. And so it is.
So, you know, people go to church so that their prayers can be answered, right? They're at church. They're praying at the temple. But what they don't realize is that you are the church.
You are the temple.
Your temple is right here. Here's your temple. This is the point. What is your point? What is the point? And what you're saying and what you're constantly repeating is your point. Now, people, you know, we weren't taught that we're creating our reality. We weren't taught that. We have to start realizing that we're creating this world. We're very creative, and we're also magnetic, and we're attracting more of what we're focusing on using that reticular activating system, the RAS system. It's looking for what you're talking, saying, and praying on.
You know, the when you think about it and you think about the teachings, and the teachings in the Bible is that your body is your temple. Do not put swine, do not do this, do not do that. And you're taught that, but you're not taught that. Because when we say whatever you dwell on is the temple where you pray, what you put in your temple produces the parasites that continue to drive the car. So think about what you're putting in your temple. The total body cleanse will help reset your system. If you're functioning with those and those parasites are driving, you're not able to think. You're not able. You need to clear and reset your system. What is weighing down your telomeres? Dr. B, I've just stepped right into your lane, and so, but I'm just thinking about that, right?
You know, a lot of folks say, you know, I've tried everything, Dr. B. I've tried businesses, I've tried herbs, I've tried everything. I keep falling. I can't get up, you know, and why? It's because a lot of us have a parasite that has to be detoxified and eradicated, and it's one of the most challenging parasites to get out of the body. Toxoplasma gondii, mind control and plastic consciousness. Did you hear that? Mind control and plastic. How many people you know with plastic consciousness? It's fake. They have all these words, and then, oh boy, they're praying in the spiritual, and then, you know, but they're not being it. It's just the way we show up now. You know what I mean? That's our what do you call it? Our platform. This is who I am. But this parasite will have you faking your life. Toxoplasma gondii is a microscopic parasite known for altering behavior. It reprograms the brain of its host, dulling fear and heightening risky impulses. What do you mean dulling fear? Well, it's like the mouse. When the mouse has toxoplasma, it's not afraid of the cat. So you'll do some risky things that you normally wouldn't do if your gut was telling you, right? If your gut notion was connected correctly, your gut mind tells you whether you should do something or not. But if it's disconnected, then you'll end up in a place where, you know, you kind of knew in the beginning, but you push that to the side. Toxoplasma has a lot to do with that. In animals, it makes prey approach predators. How many of you are approaching predators? You're going for things that are predatory. You already know this is a problem. In humans, it's linked to impulsivity, addiction, and subtle forms of self-sabotage. Like all survivalists, it hides behind a biofilm, a slimy shield that protects it from detection and elimination. Inside that coating, it thrives silently, much like our mental parasites, which protect themselves from emotional biofilm. An emotional biofilm. Check this out, y'all. Denial, distraction, and justification, self-harm, toxic relationships, repeated sabotage are often psychological symptoms of an energetic infection and the mind under a foreign influence. Our culture itself is built on a biofilm of plastic consciousness, fake, an artificial layer that covers truth, numbs emotion, replaces authenticity with surface beauty, convenience, and conformity. Just as the parasite manipulates the individual host, plastic consciousness manipulates the collective host, steering humanity towards consumption, image, self-destruction, while convincing it's all about progress, or it's convincing us it's progress. That's why we've created the Elevated Total Body Program, to help us get real, to help us get connected, to help to eradicate this parasite, which it's going to take at least 28 days. And we have things in the Elevated program that helps to deal with superbugs like that, the malarial parasite, which a lot of people also have. And there's about 5 of them that are, they're what they call manipulars. They manipulate our thought process. And this is why a lot of folks fail. They don't even know about this parasite. And they're taking their herbs and they're vegans and they're fasting. And, you know, I've got my cleanse and I did a colon cleanse and I did a what's that? What's the colon? What's the one where they clean your colon out with the machine? What's it called?
Oh,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it. Yeah.
And all those things, they're great. But to deal with Toxoplasma, it's a very special parasite. You got to use herbs, only special herbs, rare herbs. We've got to use rare earths. We're using magnetic resonance, flower essences, which help to reconnect you to your energetic field or your cord that's coming from wherever your wavelength is coming from the universe. We're using certain essential oils. It's very special water that we're using that we get from just north of Australia, from the coral reef, the Great Royal Coral Reef. This is a special formulation, and there's never been anything like it. This helps people become successful, and I have a lot of business people who do this also quarterly to make sure that they're staying focused on what it is they should be doing, so you get out of the lane of trying to compete and the idea of failure and loss, and you do the thing that, you know, Dawn's always talking about, pivot and flow when times get tough. So something like the Elevated Total Body Program is essential to help the body and the mind and the heart all become all be in concert together to get us towards our goal. And we're doing a special. Yeah, we're doing a special once again. So there's a lot of products that are for sale right now, on sale at elevationtime.com. And if you use the code, what's the code for today? Let's see, the banner's moving. I wrote it earlier. The discount code is LP15. Linguistic Parasites 15. You get 15% off of everything in your cart for of $99 or more until Sunday at midnight. The sales are also on until Sunday at midnight. So LP15 is your code to get discounts on the products. Now that doesn't include this is not a discount for the class or the book. That's a totally separate thing. These are for the products at Elevation Time for those who are ready to detoxify from these parasites, especially the Toxoplasma parasites and the superbugs. I know I said a lot, but back to you, Dawn.
Well, what I will say is it's really important that we look at the total body. So there's three things, right? There's the physical body, which the total body cleanse does. The mental, as we're talking about linguistic parasites and we're talking about all the things that we've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. What's eating you is so important in your healthy you healing journey. And then medicine music, right? So those three together, the cleanse, what's eating you, and the medicine music, give you not just the tool, the roadmap, and the rhythm. The tools, the roadmap, and the rhythm is what you get with the total body cleanse, what's eating you, and medicine music, right? It's so important. Package that with mind your business and business your mind, and you truly will pivot and flow, right? Because this workshop is going to change your life. There's a question.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Dr. B. We'll go ahead. I'll get to that question later. But that will change your life. I've been working with grants and funding for over 30 years. And I know I look like I'm 30, but that's okay. It's been over 30 years. I started at birth. But no, I really literally have been working with grants and funding for over 30 years. I have one agency that's been funded for 20 years at over $1 million, somewhere between $1 million and $7 million with grants alone. Just grants. They've been able to run their business solely with grants for over 20 years. You can run a business on grants alone. I always say you should have multiple income streams. So it should be grants, fundraising, and individual donors. But that's for a nonprofit and a nonprofit model. Every business should have multiple income streams. So you can have grants, you can have contracts, you can have retail business. It just depends on what your business is. But we want to show you how highly successful people think, how they work, how they move, how they stay in flow. One thing that I did learn during the pandemic is that every business needs to be able to have a pivot point. You have to have a 3 to 5 year plan, think and ink, and be able to pivot. But if you've thought about your pivot points when you're writing your business plan, you will always be able to pivot and flow because you've pre-projected pivot points. And so it's so important to think all the way through your business. And so we're so oftentimes fully engaged in running our business that we don't think all the way through, right? So when you attend the Mind Your Business and Business Your Mind, we're going to not only help you look at the things that are in front of you, like right in front of you today, but project into the future without fear. Because oftentimes when people are future projecting, they're doing it from a fear place. We want to empower you so that you're future projecting in a place of power because you've cleared out the mental parasites and the naysayers, and you're working from a plan. You're thinking in ink. You've planned it out. You know what to do. You know what to expect. And you know that if something that you didn't expect comes up that you are prepared to pivot?
I would like to congratulate a person. I don't want to say their name out loud, but their initials are JN. They just purchased the Mind Your Body and Mind Your Business, Business Your Mind masterclass, and they're getting the VIP. So far, there's been more VIPs than the regular, general admission, because of the value of that VIP coming a week before and giving us and some of your mindset, and also sharing. We're going to share some things in that VIP that are going to be special for them. But we are going to step to the point where we can say, look, it's guaranteed. If you do exactly what we're saying to do in this masterclass, exactly. Now, some people, I didn't. Well, you didn't do everything. You've got to do it all. It's going to be a mental, physical, emotional shift. There's going to be things that you're going to receive that you need to do every day to break these spells. You will succeed. Dawn and I, are very successful throughout our lives of helping people become successful. So whether it's a health challenge that we're having, a family financial situation, or you're just looking for extra income, or you'd like to have more outcome in your life. Some folks want more outcome. I put in everything. I'm not getting anything out. We're going to guarantee that if you follow these steps, what you invest will just be a small percentage of what you're going to get. So you say return 1,000-fold. So whatever you're investing, say return 1,000-fold. Say return $500,000 fold, 500,000-fold. You will receive it if you follow these steps, but you've got to follow these steps. And we're going to give you the clear-cut steps. And some of these have never been shared before. These are spell breakers to help us all, because we're at a time where folks are complaining about the financial market and how much things are costing. Well, guess what? We need to create more income so that that's not a problem. You see? And we're all at this point right now where we've got to get to this place and create the emergency. So let's become emergency minded. Let's move now. This is something we're doing for the first time, and it's never been done this way before. So I'd like to congratulate all of you who are in there right now and investing. Remember to say return 1,000-fold for whenever you invest or pull energy out and invest in yourself. Return 1,000-fold.
One of the things that even it's never been done before, one of the things that I wanted to stress is that in addition to showing you the ways to adjust yourself, whether that's the way you think, the way you move, your energy, your vibration, we will also be showing you where the money is. Where is this money? There's so much money that's being given away. We will be identifying where the money is and how to get it as a minority-owned business, as a business that's receiving contracts, as a business that's looking for angel investors or investors. Where is this money, right? And how do I align myself? How do I align myself for this money, right? Because knowing where contracts are, but not being aligned for it because your business structure isn't set up right, it's just as bad as not knowing where the money is, right? So when you get aligned, this is what investors want to see. This is what bankers want to see. This is what funders that fund grants want to see. How do you align yourself to be ready for what you're asking for? Because sometimes we ask for it and we're not ready, and it shows up and we're not eligible.
Dick Gregory once told me, he says, successful companies usually give up to 51% of everything they bring in away. 51. This is how they stay wealthy. They've got to give it away. Otherwise, the taxes are going to absorb it. So they have these funds that are sitting, and if there's anything that they like, let's say gardening, they may give you money just to start your own garden. You're an artist. In fact, I get a thing once every 6 months from Los Angeles where they're giving money to artists, creators. In Los Angeles, this is a big thing. And there's another one here in Atlanta where the state and the city and the county give money to artists. There's so many things to tap into that we've never thought about. But we'd like to, we'd like reparations. Well, this is a form of reparations. You got to be prepared to repair yourself and to be in the position when the 40 acres and the mule comes through, because it's coming. But a lot of us are just not.
Cultural art funding exists in every state. There's funding for cultural arts in every single state. We're not aware of it. There are venues in every city that you can use for free. You just have to know where they are and who to ask. I always tell people, I am a professional that asks for exactly what I desire. And if they say no, I just mirror their body language and ask them again next time using their exact body language, and I get a yes. Yes, 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 as Dr. B says.
Dawn, I'm looking at your eyes, and I could tell that you're on that platinum. I could tell. Well, you've taken platinum. What are you doing? You're mixing platinum, focus, and what else?
Passion.
Oh my gosh.
With another secret ingredient
that we can't mention on the air right now.
Right. But I have another secret ingredient. So, alchemy is a wonderful thing. Being able to, and that's the one thing I love about the products here at Elevation Time, is that you can mix them. And the fusing together of these products, like I really am in a blissful place taking platinum, focus, and passion together.
See, platinum itself is going to help with your intuition and your imagination. And that alone, having that supplement, having your pineal, where your pineal is searching out opportunities, because that's what it does. It's going to tap into the unseen physical world and tap into the unseen. Well, I shouldn't say the unseen physical world, but it's going to tap into the quantum field and pull things forth that you desire. This is why so many successful people use the platinum. Folks, it's like I have actually sold people cases of this, successful business people, because sometimes you run out of ideas, you get burned out, and you stop believing in yourself, or something happens where you need that push, that extra, what we call electrical impetus, that voltage that fires you up. So this is the real pineal activator for anti-aging, energizing, telomeres. We're going to have next week, we'll talk about telomeres. Intuition enhancement. Couldn't we all use that? The reason why a lot of fake folks are are having issues because their body's full of heavy metals. Do you know what heavy metals does to your nervous system and your brain? It confuses you. Who has heavy metals? Anybody breathing air. Anybody that's been around air conditioning, all those things. It's these heavy metals, these chemicals that are affecting us, and they're in our cells. Well, guess what? Platinum helps to remove those. And it has monatomic platinum, gold. A lot of folks are taking gold water, iridium, which is our time clock, palladium, which protects our cells. So this product is for winners. This one is always the one that's in the cart for people who are looking to win. And Dawn mixes focus with it. And focus itself just turns the brain up. It just says, let's go. What are we doing? Because we're a lot of us are afflicted by brain fog and forgetfulness and all of those things that are, cause us to be drifty. Is that a word? Drifty?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to outwit the devil. That's what the book Outwit the Devil is about, is locating what part of us is drifty. And if we're drifting, then we're not, fulfilling our purpose because we're caught up in the mass distraction. And there's that passion that Dawn talks about. See, passion I originally created that because the women said, well, Dr. B, you got this product called Rise and Shine, which makes the men instantaneously stand at attention, which it does. And we had another one called Time. We have another one called Timeless Man, which comes in your kit for the male program, which just rejuvenates the male reproductive system. So the women were like, well, you don't have anything for us. We want to be, passionately ready. So I created this product originally as an aphrodisiac. And the sisters came and said, we don't need to be aphrodisiac. We're waiting on the men. But a lot of times what's happening is the woman needs to relax. She needs to tap into herself. So this product, Passion, it helps with social ease. You have a lot of social, people just get affected when they go in stores. All the energy and thought forms of people, especially women, are feeling all the other intentions and energies of all the women on the planet. That can create stress. So this helps with that, helps with the heart, helps you tap into the heart, the love vibration that's in us, creativity, sensual awareness, love in the liquid form. Awaken the fire within. Turn your brilliance into inspired. Turn on your brilliance. I'm reading all backwards. That's that dyslexic. Dyslexic means I need to use the code. Need to go to the restroom. Dyslexic. Dr. B, do you have a dyslexic? It comes in the cleanse. It comes in the elevated cleanse. Turn on your brilliance. Be inspired. Be calm. Be loving. Feel sexy. Dream big. When you're successful, you feel sexy. One thing that they say in the book, what is it? What's the book I always talk about? Come on. There's
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. Thank you, Dawn, for bringing back my brain. Time to log off for the day. But Think and Grow Rich, they have a chapter on sexual transmutation, and they say the most successful people in the world are highly sexual. But when they're involved in the sexual activity, even if it's with themselves, they're focusing on success. They're focusing on business. They're focusing on what they'd like to create. So intimacy is a part of this. What are you making love out of? And the beautiful thing is to make love out of the things that are not love. So the things that could be holding you back may be considered the not love. We're going to teach in this masterclass how you can move beyond all those things and create love and success and get paid.
Well, yes. It is 10:02. And so our time is, we've been here, and we've had a wonderfully rich, deep conversation today, and I'm so grateful. Someone put in the chat, orgasm and creation energy. Absolutely. Dr. B, earlier someone asked, could you give the cat the 28-day cleanse? And I don't believe that you can. I know we were talking about toxoplasma coming from animals, but I know, or existing in animals, but I want to go back to that question too. I believe that's a no. I think it's too much.
Actually, toxoplasma is not a parasite to the cat. It is not a parasite. They co-mingle. They live together. It's what the cat has that helps it catch mice and rats and even birds. It's not just in cats anymore, though. It's throughout the whole, civilization, because it's in food. It's what they give to animals to keep animals on the farm. It domesticates. It causes you not to run away from the enemy, not to run away from what's hurting you. It causes you to do self-harm. Think about the things that you're going to do today that could be self-harming. Before you do anything, when you're about to drink, think about it. Is this hurting me? You're about to put on some cologne. Did you know the average commercial cologne has over 300 toxic chemicals, and it starts with feces and rotting tissue? Did you know that?
Wow.
The average cologne, that's why maybe they call it water of the toilet. Eau de toilette. Water is toilet water. But there's essential oils that you could wear. There's all kinds of things that you could put on, but we're just caught up in just purchasing stuff that's going to harm us and keep us in the slavery system under the Thunderdome inside the Matrix. We got to break free. So think carefully before you choose, and you'll feel this tension in your head where you're reaching for something that's going to destroy your life. Look at why would we put toxic chemicals on vegetables and crops, right? We know they're spraying it. Why would we go to the grocery store? Because it's cheaper, buy the ones that have been sprayed that kills almost every bug on earth. Then we eat it and wonder why we're sick. Well, Dr. B, it costs too much to live, organic life, or it takes too much energy to grow my own vegetables. Well, go ahead and eat the poison. Even the bugs know enough not to eat this stuff. So we've got to make better choices. And that is minding your business and businessing your mind. Mind your business and business yo mind. Your mind
Vilma.
is your own, your own, and business yo mind. That's your own mind, and get out of everybody else's business. Where did Toxoplasma originate? It is an off-world creature. It has a DNA and a chemical, a energetic signature that they haven't been able to find out where it's from. They say 6,000 years ago, this may have been dropped off in what you call Egypt or Kemet, because the people in Kemet were the first ones to crossbreed cats. And it's something about the cat, the domesticated cat, that it lives in the brain and ends up in the feces and in the litter box. And it gets into mice, and now it's in birds. That's a whole story behind Toxoplasma, but it is an alien. It's almost like a drone. It's not an alien. It's the drone of aliens that controls most people. 70% of the people on the planet have it. But guess what? We know how to get rid of it now. The elevated total body program. And some people say, well, it doesn't actually get rid of it. Well, all we need to do is turn it off. It shut down its antennas, its telomeres, because it has telomeres too. Once we shut down its telomeres and its receptor sites, it can't communicate with other ones of its kind. That's why we have the #1 detoxification program in the world right now that deals with not just your average parasites, systemic parasites, physical, mental, and emotional parasites, but also the parasites that are traveling, throughout the energetic world or space. So that's why we created, and where it comes from, we're not sure, but we know how to deal with it. That's what I specialize in. So use your code if you'd like to invest in any of the products we have at elevationtime.com. Use your code. Your discount code is LP15, and that's good until Sunday night at midnight. There are specials on all over the website. There's sales on things, and even I talked about platinum earlier, where we actually have an offer that we've never offered before for that particular product. Oh, I almost slipped my mind. We just got in some medicine drums. People are like trying to get them. When are they coming, Dr. B? It's a challenge creating something of this quality. Sourcing the wood, tuning it, doing all those things. It takes time. So we just got the medicine drum for those who are ready to invest. We have them in stock right now at elevationtime.com. And you can use that discount code for the medicine drum. And we have a firm now, which is a payment plan. So when you check out, you can check a firm, and you can put things in your cart and pay later using a firm. We also have pay now, pay later with PayPal. So that makes it more affordable for things like the class and, other things that, are, they're a little more, they have enhanced pricing. Let's say it that way. Dawn, back to you.
Well, we got partway through the chapter, so we'll pick up with part 2 next week to get the rest of the way through that chapter. Go to the site, register for the class. You want to be there. You absolutely want to be there. And we want you to be there. We look forward to sharing this with all of you. I'm so excited about the VIP time and being able to take a deep dive with the VIPs. That's super exciting. Send your email to Dawn at elevationtime.com with your 2 paragraphs. Click on the website and register and take the class. We are super excited to have all of you there. This conversation today was exhilarating. It brought so much to the forefront, being able to share with you what's in you. We're on the chapter about linguistic parasites. Get your book, spend some time reading out loud. Tell someone you love them today. Love is important. Share the love you seek. And thank you. And we're going to go out with Dr. B playing the medicine drum. Thank you all. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time.
The drum comes with a chakra chart now that tells you which notes tunes up which chakras and tells you about the frequency, the scale, so that you can tap into yourself. This is a great therapy instrument. You don't have to be a musician. You can just play or just sit it in your room, and it emanates a vibration which harmonizes the room. This is Dr. B's Medicine Drum 432, available now at elevationtime.com. So just vibe for a few seconds as I take it out into the etheric realm with the medicine drum. Yes, breathe. Thank you very much. Travel light.